Hey there, folks. Welcome back to the Political Living Room. I am Karen. This is my living room, and we're going to have a little chat about politics in my living room. And the subject of this evening's discussion is the proliferation of white self-loathing, or performative white self-loathing. I don't think for 1 second that any of these people have had some kind of come to Jesus, let's be nice to black people moment. I really don't. I think it's all performative. I think it's all nonsense. And I think that people who engage in this kind of ridiculousness do so for their own entertainment, which is kind of pathetic. And also, in a weird way, to appeal to other white folks who engage in this type of performative self-loathing. Aren't we wonderful? Yay. And these are the same people, frequently, who believe that educational standards should be lowered because black students cannot attain them. So a lot of these folks believe that we are idiots and that we cannot survive in the world without these people being nice to us. And another thing that nice means to a lot of these people is letting black criminals run the streets. Where do they run the streets? Primarily in black neighborhoods. Who are the victims of black criminals? Mostly black people. So a lot of these super woke, super liberal idiots see black people as ineducable, incorrigible criminals. And are these ineducable, incorrigible criminals running around in their Tony neighborhoods? Actually, they're starting to now, but for a very long time, no, they were confining their behavior to the black community. But now they're knocking over Nordstrom's and, various other, shall we say, she shopping malls. There's one here in New Jersey, the Short Hills Mall, and they got hit by one of these organized shoplifting gangs. So it is starting to spill over. What do you want to bet that as the unchecked criminality of the worst elements of the black community, what do you want to bet that unchecked acting out, once it spills over into the suburbs for real, that these chicks over here will cut this nonsense out? What do you want to bet? Now, I know that there are a couple of people who have been attacked by black criminals and said they forgave them because social conditions. Well, see, here's the thing. Those of us law-abiding black people do not need a bunch of crazy white folks to absolve criminal black people of their criminality. We really don't need that because they put all of us in danger. I ride the subway a lot. I do not want to be in a confined space with some little scholar who decides to wild out and I can't get away from him because they now lock the doors between cars. I don't want this idiot via TikTok to encourage criminality or miscreancy for anyone, but particularly for people that I may be in a confined space with. So let's just hear what she has to say here. Now, she's going to attempt to sing. I'm going to apologize for that in advance. Now, I didn't do it. It's not me singing. But you know. All right, here we go.
If you're white, yes, you are racist, even if you think you're woke. We all benefit from oppression. Pretending you're not racist only makes racism grow.
I apologized in advance. Okay, so let's just deconstruct this little thing for a moment, this little ditty by this happy idiot here. If you're white, yes, you are racist. Well, here's the thing. I think that most people may have some negative judgments about other people based on race. I think that it may be impossible to be a human being, particularly a human being in our present society, and not have some of that. Now, other people's thoughts that are in their heads cannot harm you. It's when people decide to act on those thoughts that we have a problem, and it also depends on what the thoughts are. If I'm sitting on the train or I'm walking down the street and some white dude or somebody, some member of some other race, thinks there's a black woman, she's an idiot, that thought has not hurt me. I will continue on my way, and I'll have no idea what this person thought. And seeing as how I have a very active inner life, and I'm usually thinking about what video I'm going to record when I get home, when I'm walking down the street, I'm not paying any attention to motherfuckers anyway. So this is that. If someone, however, looks at me and decides that because I'm black, or for whatever reason, that I should no longer live on the planet and decides to kill me, again, that person hasn't harmed me until they actually aggress upon me. Someone looking at me or thinking of me in a racist manner does not actually harm me. It's not until they get into my space and actually try to physically interact with me in a way that would be harmful. That's a problem. That's the issue. So someone being racist, what does that even mean? It doesn't matter. If you're white, yes, you are racist. Now, for some reason, liberal white people hate being called racist. It's very upsetting to them. If you're a racist, you know, and if you're not a racist, you also know. And so if you're not a racist, why would you care? Again, this is performative self-loathing on the part of white folks. I have yet to figure out what the point of this is, except to entertain each other. I have no clue. I have no idea. Okay, let's go a little further here.
If you're white, yes, you are racist, even if you think you're woke. We all...
Please stop. Okay, so, yeah, woke people are idiots. Or actually, no, that's not true. Woke ideas are idiotic. It is possible to have an idiotic idea and not be an actual idiot. It depends on how many idiotic ideas you have. There's a critical mass when you crossed over into idiocy. So even if you think you're woke, listen, like I said, woke people believe that educational standards should be lowered so that black people can meet them because we're too stupid to school. Okay. My great-grandfather was born a slave. He became a professor of Greek literature and language and a minister. Slave, 1860. Okay? So there. And these are also the same people, like I said, who want to let the criminals run free in the black neighborhoods because, you know, black people can't help be criminals, and why should you punish us for our nature? So they believe we're all fucking savages. That is racist. Okay. And woke people believe that crap. And so the woke are racist. Thank you.
all benefit from oppression, pretending...
What kind of oppression? What are you talking about? You could argue that the United States, by being a powerful nation, probably oppresses other nations, and that's why we have our rather posh lifestyle over here. And that doesn't mean that all Americans are wealthy, of course. It means that we have a higher standard of living than a lot of people in a lot of parts of the world. So are we benefiting from oppression? Yeah. But I'm benefiting from it, and here I am being black. She's benefiting from it, and there she is being white. You know who else benefits from it? All the Indians in my neighborhood. You know who else benefits from it? All the Chinese people in my neighborhood. You know who else benefits from it? all of the Koreans in my neighborhood. You know who else benefits from it? All the Pakistanis in my neighborhood. And what are we supposed to do as individual citizens to undo U.S. hegemony in geopolitics? There ain't nothing we can do. Not a damn thing. So would she be willing to trade places with someone who's living in one of these nations that we supposedly oppress? I'm not. I don't want to be anywhere near them. That's why we got all those people crossing the border in these huge and never-ending waves, trying to get the hell out of where they are so they can get what we have here. That's dangerous. That's a whole other discussion. But does she want to go live in, I don't know, Venezuela? I mean, the country's practically fucking empty because they're all in New York City. So maybe she wants to go live down there if she doesn't want to benefit from oppression anymore. So there's that. Or she could go to an African nation. I'm sure they would be glad to have her in Kenya or Nigeria. Or if she's really concerned about it, she could nip on over to Gaza. So there's that. And then she says, pretending you're not racist only makes racism grow. No, that's bullshit. And so what does that mean? Does that mean that white people who don't like members of other races should act their racism out? So if you are, let's say, a Caucasian gentleman who has a negative opinion of the black women of color, such as moi, does that mean that you should stop repressing your hostile impulses towards women like me, and you should just let them go so that everyone will know that you're a racist? And you will no longer be pretending not to be racist. You can give in to your sociopathy in the name of what? Remember I said woke is stupid? Yeah, there it is. No, continue to repress your racism, people. And it's really okay. And let's all keep benefiting from oppression. I'm good with that. I really am. And I'm sure that will piss some people off, but whatever. Look, I don't think that there is any way to end oppression. I think it is endemic to the human condition. I think that there are ways that we could lessen the burden that people in other countries bear for our lifestyle. I think that there are ways to lessen the burden that Americans bear for our lifestyle, like high rents, ridiculously high rents, and ridiculously expensive health insurance premiums, student loans, all that crazy shit. But I do not think it's possible to eliminate oppression. I think it is far more reasonable and far more valuable to be very specific about the issues you wish to address and then formulate solutions based on the issue instead of saying oppression. Because what do you mean by that? I felt oppressed by homework. Occasionally, I do feel oppressed by the MTA. They suck. Am I genuinely oppressed by the MTA? No. If it were not for the MTA, I'd have to have a car. I'd have to freaking drive through this nightmare traffic every freaking day. So as much as I complain about the MTA, as much as I rail against it, I do not want it to go away. I'd like it to be better, not abolished. So we are going to leave this here. And like I said, this is some dumb shit here. Again, performative white self-loathing for the benefit of other peculiar white people who don't have anything else to do. This does nothing for black people. Not a damn thing. You want to help black people out, particularly black people who live in black neighborhoods? Refund the police. double or triple the budget for policing. That's one of the things you can do. And get the bullshit teaching methods and curriculums out of public schools. That will help some Black folks. This, calling other white people racist, is here, and I will see you in the next video. And thank you for hanging out with me in the political living room. And until then, bye-bye.